You know how kids take too big of a bite sometimes?
Yeah.
It's not like they ate something bad like a bone. This is good calories. This is good food. They spit out half into my hand. I will eat that. Never in front of others. Never at a restaurant.
No, my not doing it is not about keeping up appearances. It's about not having the desire to have somebody else's spit out food in my mouth.
But it's your blood. Okay,
So yeah.
Record the intro now.
So what is Milkless? Because I think we start with the name.
Two dads. We love our kids, but then we also need them to know that we're like pretty cool and it's not like a wimpy podcast. So, hey, hey, Milkless.
Hey, welcome. Hey,
Milkless. Call the audience, Milkless. What's up, Milkless? Max, coming at you.
What if that's it? That's our first take. On this episode of Milkless, we're going to be doing another Hot Takes, which is kind of like an episode, except, we don't have to research as much. It's great. Here we go.
All right, Matt, today we're doing a Hot Takes episode, a bunch of little boop, boop, boop. Here we go, little short little vignettes, talking about things that maybe we do, our own little peccadilloes, little things we do in our family. What do you do in your family? Is this weird? Is this normal? And when we say weird, we mean just different. Everything's good here.
Weird is good.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you want to get into?
Well, before we start, I think now would be a nice time to say, thanks for listening. We're shocked that people are, but it's amazing. We kind of started this just mostly to have an excuse to hang out with each other. But man, we cracked top 20 parenting podcasts on Apple. It's unbelievable. So
yeah, dude, thank you everybody for tuning in. We do a ton of work every episode. And at first it was like, are we really going to do this much work for a 25-minute episode? But it works, and we're stoked that everybody's enjoying it. So
yeah, thanks. All right. So my first question for you is, how many times on average a day would you say that you get smacked in the ass by one of your children?
I'd say a hard 0.
Seriously?
I don't think I've ever...
I'd say a hard 35. What the fuck?
Yeah, I get hit in the butt maybe once every 2 weeks.
I think it's my daughter's favorite pastime.
Once a month. And
wow.
Where do you think this originated?
Well, we may be partially at fault here because my wife and I do think that a baby's butt is just a great natural wonder.
Oh, yeah.
And is meant to be just pinched and poked whenever it's out of a diaper.
Yeah.
And so it's possible that the booty fixation originates with us. But yeah, my daughter just loves to, I think it's just eye high and it feels like a satisfying, so I get a lot of swings.
Yeah. It's like a basketball team. Get in there, son, with a little ass spank. I don't know if that's allowed anymore.
It's an attaboy.
Yeah.
I don't know. That might not be cool at the high school level at this point. I had a high school coach. This is one of those things that if it happened now, his thing was he'd grab you in that skin at the top of your thigh, right under
your butt cheek,
your ass, and just squeeze. And it hurt so bad. Like in high school, your tears would come to your eyes. And he would do it, and then he'd just cackle. And he was known for this. And everyone was just fine with it.
That's strange. I definitely got patted on the butt in both football and basketball all the time, and it was normal.
Yeah.
I hope that there's still butt patting.
It's nice. It's collegial.
Yeah. Get in there. Go get him, hell.
Go get him. Yeah. I get a lot of go get hims from my daughter. The only downside is her aim is kind of shit, and 1 out of every 6 times she just hits my lower back as hard as she can. And it makes me want to scream. Do your kids have, especially when they're learning to speak, all 3 of our kids, when they're basically 2, 3, even into 4, they all have either a New England or a Boston or a Maine or a New York accent, all of them. And I don't know if we used to live in Boston, but I don't think that my wife and I have strong accents by any means. But they will literally just be remember that? Or you going out to the car? I remember.
It's what?
In the cursing episode, when you were pressing your son on where he'd heard the word fuck, he said, "Oh yeah, mama said that."
Yeah, well, mama said that. Or "Oh yeah, where's your shirt? Where's your shirt, daddy? Or why you wearing a hat? What you got, messy hair?"
It's got to be something about dropping the R's a little bit.
But do your kids sound like that when they were learning to speak?
No.
I want to go there.
No. We do have one story that gets passed around our family a lot where my daughter was 2 and she picked up a toy horse and held it to her ear as if it were a phone and said, "Hello, horse?" And so that was a little bit of a New York accent, but not across the board. No.
What I can't figure out is if it's our kids and somehow we have mild New England or New York accents that come out.
Well, look, I don't consider you to have much of an accent, but I would say that your wife has a New York accent that is, I would not describe as mild. She's all Long Island, baby.
But you knew her in college when it was strong, but it's been, slowly beat out of her by people saying,
really?
Oh yeah, she doesn't really have it unless she's had a few drinks.
Are you sure you just don't hear it? Next time I talk to her, because that'd be a shame if she lost that. That's like a real.
It comes out when she's around friends and stuff.
Yeah, and with the laugh when she's had a couple of beers.
Oh yeah, the snort, the snort.
Yeah, the snort is good. All right. So yeah, I don't know why your kids have a New York accent. Probably about dropping the R's. When you go to the bathroom at your house, door locked, door unlocked, do the kids come in? Are they welcome? What's the story there?
I'm like 90% unlocked. I will lock it sometimes if I'm just like, but then they're going to come and knock anyway and kind of enter, especially when the kids are like 3 or 4. It is just so annoying when they enter.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I need privacy. And they're like, okay, I'll give you privacy, but I just want to stand in here and turn around. I'm like, I don't want you.
That's not privacy, bro.
No. And then it's like, this is one of those weird ones. I can't stand it, but I usually leave it unlocked because otherwise they're going to be like, let me in.
One of the first times I locked the door, when my daughter was like 2, she was like rattling against the door, which is an unnerving sound, even if you know what it is. And then I just see these fingers come under the door. Yeah. And just like they're scratching at the door from the outside. I was like, all right, I guess unlocked is better than this.
Yeah. It's just like,
I do remember when I was a kid being like, it takes me like 2 minutes to poop. Why is my dad in there for so long? And now I get it.
Yeah.
Me time, baby.
Well, it is also, there were no cell phones back then either. So our parents were just reading the back of the shampoo bottle or something. I don't know.
Just alone with their thoughts.
Yeah.
It's horrifying.
Do you guys have like a weird internal house language that you use where you make up your own words for certain things or you add endings to words? Like, for example, we just add like ski on the end of every word, like, oh yeah, like, what's up, Booski?
Yeah.
Like, pass me the, Daduski, or like, hey, Pooski. Like, everything's ski. Mm-hmm. And now the kids say it, and then their nicknames, like, all have ski at the end of it. And it's like, grab me a napski, and for a napkin. It's like, they have this like weird language. We don't speak it around anyone else.
I think it's good. I think that's normal, and I think it's pretty good. I mean, even if in an office environment, if you're in a really like tight-knit group where you're working, you start to develop weird words. My eldest daughter and I have a lot of just gibberish language. I was trying to get her to stop saying poop for a while, and so we just started saying poosta. And then we invented this band called Poosta Magusta and the Three Floostas, and we still talk about, they got some great hits.
But sometimes you then have to tell your kids, like, sometimes you'll make something up like Poosta, and then it becomes just canon or whatever. Like, it's like it's
canonical.
Yeah. And then I'll have to like tell them as they get a little older, I'm like, quick trivia, napkin. Did we make that up or is that real? They're like, that's a real word. I'm like, Poosta. Is that real or did we make that up? And sometimes they'll be like, that's real, obviously. That's real. And it's like, no, that's one we made up. So that's a house word. Because sometimes they don't know.
They don't know. Yeah, it's just the parlance of our times.
Yeah.
My daughter did have to explain to her teacher at school what a poosta was. She was just dropping that everywhere.
So great. Do you always correct your children on language? Like, for example, our daughter will say napquin.
Oh, it's great.
For a napkin. And it's like, every other thing I'll be like, oh, well, actually, it's not dat, it's that or something, and it kind of bring them along, language-wise.
My wife's family has a rich tradition of holding on to the cute kid malapropisms. I mean, they still call it like mazagine. There are mazagines in their house, and listpick.
What's listpick?
Lipstick.
Oh.
We really try to hang on to those things as kind of like monuments to the learning of language.
Yeah.
My wife used to keep a list of them, of all of the like translations. Doodlebugs, we still call duty butts. Come on, it's better.
Yeah, there's certain things that are better.
Yeah.
Like napquin.
Napquin's strong.
Well, it's one of those things that like I'm eventually going to tell them, but there's certain things where it's like the minute you correct them, it's going to be gone forever. So we let our youngest daughter say napkin for like 6 months, and the older kids are like, napkin, it's napkin.
It's napkin.
But then she's like, I know it's napkin. I like saying napkin. So I'm like, guys, let her keep doing the napkin thing for a little bit. Because then once it's gone, it's gone.
You'll miss it when it's gone.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
With that said, I went to Brown, and first day of school, we were talking about getting drunk or something. I'm like, oh yeah, I've drinking that before. And someone's like, excuse me? I'm like, I've drinking that before. They're like, that's not proper English. And both my parents are like journalists and English majors. I call them immediately. I'm like, guys, what the fuck is up with drinking? They're like, yeah, we thought it was cute how you said that always. I'm like, I am an adult. I am 18 years old. You must correct drinking.
What's the strangest thing that one of your kids is afraid of?
Okay. Well, I think there's like the standard thing. Our kids all three have been afraid of the car wash.
Really?
But want it badly.
It's like a roller coaster.
Please, can we do the car wash? And they get on. It's like, ah! It's like you are being you are being eaten by like a fucking octopus. And it's like, it's so fun. And then they're like, ah! They're like trying to be happy, and then they
it's really
totally freak out. Totally
Wow.
freak out.
I used to take, just like during COVID when there was fuck all to do, I would just take my daughter I got my car washed so often. I got like a membership at a place so we could go all the time. And it was when the slappy things hit the side.
Yeah.
That was a lot for her. But she loved that shit. And we used to listen to this on Car Wash while we went through.
That's fun.
That's really fun.
What about you? Is there something that you're...
Dude, my she's funny, man. She's like, she's scared of the dark, but that's not atypical. I'm a little scared. I think most people, even grown-ups, are a little scared of the dark.
Yeah.
But she's scared of weird animals. Like, we went to an aquarium the other day, and there was a 15-foot tiger shark 3 inches from her face, and she was like, fuck yeah. But turkeys and sheep scare the shit out of her. With sheep, I think it's the eyes. The sheep do have fucked up eyes.
Oh, yeah. They're like double googly eye.
Yeah. They've got the devil eyes, like goat eyes.
Yeah. It's like a cross between a devil, lazy-eyed cat.
Yeah. Yeah. And yes. And so, but turkeys, I think she just saw a fucking cartoon one time where somebody got chased by a turkey when she was like 3. And now we'll be like walking at night by our house and it'll be dark in a place where there are coyotes and snakes. And she'll just like cling tight to me, and she's feeling like, I'm picturing a turkey running out of those trees.
I got one for you. Do your kids insist on flushing the toilet? Like if you're in there, like helping them wipe ass or something, or you happen to be in there, and then it's like you flush their toilet, it's like a fucking problem.
Any button. I am not allowed to push any button.
I wanted to flush, and then it's like, oh, sorry. I'll just like quickly like give myself a fucking hernia and just shit a tiny deer shit out right now for you so you can flush my rabbit turd.
Yeah. My daughter's not quite, that is unique. My daughter's not quite that way about the toilet. She is that way about like
elevators.
Like if we're about to get on an elevator and I push the up button, like we got to ride that motherfucker up and then come back down and then get out so she can push the button for us to ride it up again.
I've got one, a really good one for you. So
give it to me.
So you know how when you like shit in the shower?
What?
And then when you shit in the shower, like do you when you waffle stomp it, do you waffle stomp with your toes or your heel?
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, come on.
No, I don't.
No, you're in a rush and you shit in the shower.
No one does this.
No. I've been using my toes, but some people say they use their heel.
I think you're fucking with me. I really hope you're fucking with me.
I am, but this is a new thing that I've been doing. So now you're in on it. So the next person we chat, if we have like a guest on the show, what you do, and you can do this at home, and this is the Waffle Stomp Challenge. What you do...
Waffle stomp is amazing.
You talk about waffle stomping, and now that you're in on it, if we had our friend Jeremy here, for example, we'd be like, you'd be in on it. We'd say, so Matt, you know how like when you're shitting in the shower and you waffle stomp it down.
Totally.
Do you use your toes or your heel? I say toes. You talk shit about me saying it's heel.
What are you doing using your toes? It sneaks up between there. You got to use heel. It's a flat surface.
I know, but when I try to use the heel, I can't see it. I can't line it up properly because it's so... And then you get the third person who's like, what the fuck are you talking about? Eventually, if this gets big enough, somebody's going to be like, no, I totally waffle stomp. And then
somebody's going to take it seriously. Yeah, you're finally going to get the person that's like, yeah, I've done that a couple of times. What the fuck's wrong? So wait, is this an existing challenge or have you just...
I made it up like a month ago and I've been doing it now with all of our friends. And now the people, I remember who's in on it now. So if we're at like a party and then someone walks up, I'm like, okay. And then I'll just do it while we're not looking at the new person who entered the chat.
Do you get your wife in on this?
Yeah, she's the best because everyone will look at her because she's so like... She
has credibility.
Yeah, exactly. And she'll be like, Max, you're such a fucking idiot. I obviously heel. And then that will sell it. And everyone's like, what the fuck?
Did you come up with waffle stomp?
I heard that like 10 years ago and it literally blew my cock off. I loved it. I loved it. Good. No, this joke fucks.
Well, hey, let's stay with the topic. How often you're gonna have to think back because you all your kids are out of diapers now. What percentage of the time when you're changing a diaper would you say you get shit on your hands?
I mean, I'd say 1 in 4. Okay,
good. That's high.
You never really see it, but
you just feel it.
You know that it's there.
Yeah.
And if you did a drive-by Whiffarooski, but you don't need to do that.
No, you just wash right after.
You're going to wash it. You just wash.
Man, these days our 11-month-old is like, as soon as I get the diaper off, her hands are like down there. So I've started, to change her, I'll get her down and then I'll put one leg across her chest to block her arms.
Oh, yeah.
So that I can change her diaper without her just fiddling. Because as soon as she has it on her hands, I'm getting it on mine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We had a child, one of our kids blew out 50% of all diapers. And it was literally like a carnival game with like hitting the thing and it, bing, it would just hit the back of his neck. He could blow out so hard that it would hit the back of his neck. And it's like, we got another neck. We got another,
neck one.
Another winner. We got another winner.
There's gonna be a lot of poop in this episode. It's about our level.
What's your policy on bugs? Do you bring it outside? Do you murder it in cold blood in front of the child? Are there different insects you treat differently?
We treat different insects differently. Most bugs, if we find them inside, we will try to perform a rescue mission. The classic cup, paper.
Yeah.
This is largely the influence of my daughter. She's like, we got to save that thing. I kill like we have black widows at our house. I kill I kill scorpions, that shit. I still catch shit from my daughter for that. She's like, oh, so you're just gonna kill it?
Do you have mosquitoes in Texas?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, you kill all mosquitoes. It's authorized genocide.
Yes. I also kill all flies because fuck flies.
Same.
Fuck flies.
Indoors. When I'm outside,
sure.
The only thing I will still murder with reckless abandon is mosquitoes.
Yeah.
I would gladly kill 10,000, but
Also, they're doing fine. They're doing better than we are as a species. Yeah.
Yeah, we're outside bringers. Sometimes I'll catch a spider in a soft tissue. I'm a little bit, my wife will make fun of me. I tend to be that trope of the big guy who goes to get the spider and then I miss it and it falls on me and I start screaming. And
one thing that bums me out is if I get like a flyby from a bug, I can't not do the yeah. There's some people that just like a wasp flies by them and they're like, it's fine.
Well, I'm just afraid of triggering them, so I never move.
I can't not move, and I hate that about myself.
I one time had a wasp crawling on my face and let it do it for like a few minutes. My mom comes up, I'm like 16, and I'm allergic to stings, and she's like, ah! Goes swinging at it. It fucking... it snipes me in the neck and my neck like blows up. I turn into a turtle.
Jesus. We have these things at our house that I'd never seen until we moved to this house that are called tarantula hawks that are wasps, but 3x bigger.
Fun.
And they have the second most painful sting of any insect in the world that doesn't actually cause necrosis.
That's nice.
And I walked out my door one time and I saw something crawling through the grass, and I was like, what the fuck am I looking at? And it was a tarantula hawk.
Jesus.
Dragging a paralyzed tarantula across my yard to lay its eggs inside.
I don't know, man. I don't like that at all.
I will say, on a like slightly more serious note, my daughter's been a very good influence on me in this way. There's just, for kids, there's this simplicity of like, it's a living thing. Like, what do you do? Like, what, you're just going to kill it? I remember I had like flattened and kind of cleared this area to build a fire pit at our house. And it was a place where like you had a pretty good view. And there were just a couple of small like trees that we have a lot of in our yard. And I was going to cut one of them down so that we could see. And in general, I do not cut trees down recreationally in our yard. Mm-hmm. But there's one tree that was just in the way of our view. And I was down there with my daughter and I had my saw. And she just goes, oh, so what? You're just going to cut that tree down just so you can see better? That's a living thing.
Nice.
And so that tree is still there, just fucking killing our view. Because I was like, how can I argue with that?
Yeah, no, they're a more pure life form, the children.
Indeed. Although they can be real pricks sometimes. How much playful shit do you give your kids?
Like razzing?
Yeah. Like, how often do you razz your kids?
I can't do it to the younger kids. And 5-year-old, not really so much. But as they get older, 7, 8, 9, it's almost like the very first time I razz, I feel like I need to almost tell them what I'm going to do. Mm-hmm. And just be like, hey, Dad's going to like make fun of you a little bit, okay? Uh-huh. And it's going to be kind of funny. That's what I do with my friends. It means you're kind of like a grown-up. And then it'll be like, oh, like, look at this guy over here, like gelling his hair. What's going on, man? Looking good. I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you do?
I've given my daughter shit, and she's given me shit since as long as I can remember. And it's just kind of our dynamic. For me, I think it's a little bit of an off gas.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know about your kids, but my daughter is the worst person at looking for things ever. So just be like, I can't find it anywhere. And I'll walk in the room, I'll be like, it's obviously right there, 3 feet from your face, and you're staring right at it. So what I've started saying whenever I find something is I'm just like, baby, you're good at a lot of things. And then her favorite thing to say is, Dad, how dare you? And so that's just kind of our shtick.
That's great.
And we like doing it in public because we both kind of like attention, and it cracks people up because, like,
yeah,
she'll be like, Dad, hold this for me. I'll be like, I can't handle that responsibility. I'll just be like, how dare you? And then other people laugh and I'll be like, yeah, we're cute.
That is great. That is great. Like, I could do a better job at that because I've even told our son, like our oldest son, I'll be like, you should make fun of me for this. Like, if he does something better than me, mm-hmm. and like almost like to be like, yeah, you should be like, oh, what's up, old man? Like, not working? You're too old? You need some oil in those joints? And he'll be like, oh my God, really? Oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, do it.
Get me, zing me.
It's still like cringy.
Yeah, that's really good.
In terms of kids' crafts, what do you keep and what do you throw away? We throw away everything, by the way.
Do you really? You're a better man than I gotta.
No, I would keep everything, but my wife is like ruthless. She just everything. The kids will find something in the recycling, like, hey, and then I'll have to cover and be like, oh my goodness, how did that get in there? Like, if it's like a book that they wrote with their little handwriting, a story that they made, we'll keep that.
Sure.
But if you're getting a piece of 2 or 3 crafts a day that obviously the preschool person did,
yeah,
and it's like, these are going.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Some people keep everything.
I keep all that shit, man. There's a drawer in our house that's just like compressed as I've just like shoved more and more stuff into it. But a lot of times my daughter is just like, I'm for Dad. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh man, now this is my problem.
Yeah, because I guess the question is, what do you do with it eventually? Because my parents just gave me my bin of stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And I was like, oh, thanks. The things that I was excited about was like a book I wrote in third grade where I illustrated it. I spent probably the entire year on this book and this story. It's like, okay, that's like cool to have. But then like a Thanksgiving turkey that's a hand and they colored the thumbs to be the face. It's like, literally.
Yeah.
Who wants to see that again?
Yeah.
I think stuff like that. It's like Christmas cards. You hang them up during Thanksgiving on the fridge. It gets a month, and then it gets trashed.
You do always kind of feel like a bit of an asshole in the moment, though, when you're.
Oh, that's why you got to stuff it deep down under everything else in the recycling.
Yeah, you
or
got to
the
hide
trash.
that shit.
Yeah,
They can't find that.
Because if they find it,
Yeah, that's a tough one. I probably keep more than I should, frankly. Do I hear a child?
yes. Hello?
Dad.
Yeah.
My hand looks purple.
Yeah, it does.
When you are either carrying a child and walking through a door or putting your kid into a car seat, what percentage of the time do you hit their head on the frame?
Let's say first child, it was probably 1 in 100, and second and thirds, I've never done it because I was so
really?
traumatized. Because I did it so much with our first child, just getting like whacked, especially because they were like leaners. They'll like be
yeah.
hanging their head out of the.
They're not helping.
No.
Yeah.
And then you get like a side of the head on a door jamb. Yeah, never nice. But that's traumatizing. It's like I learned from my mistakes on those. Give a lot of clearance.
Yeah, just the other day, our baby, I was carrying her through a doorway and she leaned back, and I think she just ticked it, but I heard it,
Yeah.
and I looked at her like, oh, and she looked at me, and it didn't hurt her. Like I just barely nicked it, but she looked at me like, and she was like scared because she saw my face. She's like, "What happened?"
Wait, I should be crying. Yeah. Are you always planning to be a dad save sort of guy? Like, for example, I'll be walking, holding my kids' hands, 2 kids, in a parking lot. I'm always picturing like a truck coming out of nowhere that's going to hit us. And I'm thinking, am I going to jump with them and take them? Or am I going to fucking throw these kids over out of the way and just take the truck head on?
Just go out in a blaze of glory.
I'm always planning. Like, if it's a low sedan, I think that I could jump with them. If it's a high-nosed F-350, I'm going to have to huck them. And then I'm always doing that calculus. Like, okay, if I throw the kids, worst case scenario, I'd say broken arm.
And you're a hero.
And I'll just take the car. Yeah, and I'm a hero, and I save their lives.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking about this.
Yeah.
Like, always ready.
When you're thinking about it, are you thinking about it like with trepidation of worst case scenario, or are you thinking about it as like, I'm the protagonist of the hero dad film?
A little bit of both. I just don't want to get caught off guard where then, like, for example, you're walking along a sidewalk of a busy street. 1 in a million that a car veers off.
Yeah, I do think about that.
But I'm just thinking,
Yeah.
I'm thinking, okay, so if this car loses control and it's coming straight at me, where's the safest place to throw the kids or run with the kids?
Yeah.
And do I have the tricep strength to run and then give them that extra toss to save their lives?
I do. I think about that sometimes. Yeah. It is interesting. I think you and I, but like one thing that I wish people had told me more about becoming a parent is how much anxiety it introduces into your life that just wasn't there before. And I do like, I think you and I both feel that a lot in different ways. I think you like worst case scenario game plan a lot, moment to moment, in a way that sounds very tiring. Like I respectable, you're like, you're looking out for your kids. I get the most of that when like my daughter has started to say what she picked up from me saying, she says, I live to make you nervous, because she just climbs shit. Just anytime she can find a thing to climb and be on the edge of.
Yeah.
We were looking at some ducks the other day by some water, and I saw her feet were like 1.5 inches from the edge of the water, and she looks down at her feet, which are 1.5 inches from the edge of the water, and moves them 1 inch closer to the water. And I was just like, what is this fucking compulsion? And so I was like, would you have to? And she's like, I want to see the ducks. And I was like, take a step back. You can see the ducks just fine. So I like most of my hero dad shit is like when they have put themselves in a situation where I'm like, oh, this could go wrong.
Yeah. It's just me. It's probably my weird little fantasy of being in a movie where you see those cool dad saves where they do awesome shit.
I know. I'm so jealous of those motherfuckers.
Yeah. I just want to be ready. So if presented with the opportunity, I not only like my kids don't get fucking disfigured.
Yeah.
But also I'm a fucking hero.
Yeah, I know. And like somebody better be there with their phone camera.
Yeah.
Dude, and fucking nobody saw it. I was lying on the ground on my back playing with one of my daughters, with my elder daughter. and the baby is like 4 feet away from us and our hardwood floors. And I see the baby start to wobble. And I was like, she's fucking going backward. And I'm on my back. And so I pick my feet up and I push off the wall and slide myself backward across the floor with a hand outstretched and catch her head as she falls backward an inch above the floor. And I'm looking around. My eldest daughter didn't even notice. And I'm just like, dude, can somebody give me a gold star for this? Motherfucker.
That's the only reason to have cameras everywhere.
I know,
is to get the dad saves.
I know. That would have been cool.
That's great.
I wish I had that on film. But I don't know. Maybe I just made it up.
If your kid chews something up and then spits it out, question is, do you eat it or not? And then second question, why is the answer yes?
No.
Have you ever eaten your kid's food when it comes out of their mouth?
Not after it comes out of their mouth.
I have, if it's something really tasty.
What have you eaten after it came out of their mouth?
Like Chinese food, lasagna. For example, you know how kids take too big of a bite sometimes?
Yeah.
It's not like they ate something bad like a bone. This is good calories. This is good food. The most amazing Chinese food, the most amazing lasagna, and they put too much in your mouth. Like, don't put so much in your mouth. They put too much, like, oh, spit out half. Spit out half into my hand. They eat that. I'm like, okay, eat the other half. They'll be like, I don't want it. It's already been chewed up. I'm like, well, I will eat that.
Is this waffle stomp part 2, or are you just fucking gross?
No, I do this.
No, I don't do this. I mean, I do.
Never in front of others. Never at a restaurant. I'm just being real here.
No, my not doing it is not about keeping up appearances. It's about not having the desire to have somebody else's spit out food in my mouth.
But it's your blood.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'll let them spit it out into my hands. I get their shit on my hand 25% of the time I change their diaper. I'm not repulsed by them. I just don't voluntarily eat stuff that they've rejected.
But what if it's like the best bite ever? Still no?
I feel like there's always more bites out there.
Okay. I'm the weird one there. I'll take that.
Good for you, man.
Yeah.
You're sharing germs. You're boosting one another's immune systems.
All right, I got one more quick one. Do you have the heat of 1,000 suns when a kid lays on top of you? Like, are you like a human furnace, or do I have like something wrong with me?
Well, if it's like playing, wrestling, whatever, then that's fine. But if it's sleeping, there's no touching. Because I don't even wear my wedding ring to sleep because it makes me feel hot.
Yeah. I don't know what it is, but like they also like it if they're a little cold. They just want to be on top of me. They're like, you're always so hot. But then
I get that.
It's like the places where we are touching, like if they're laying on my stomach watching a TV show or something, it will get like so hot.
Yeah. And you feel a little bit like you're in prison. Like, you're just like, yeah, I know.
It's like I like the closeness and the cuddling, but then it's also like, yeah, it's kind of hot.
Yeah, I am that way only with sleep. My wife will sleep with both girls, just like they're like sardines in a.
Yeah.
But they all run cold. I'm like, nobody touch me when I'm sleeping. I got one last one. Are you a better parent when other people are around, or a worse parent when other people are around?
I'd say I'm probably a worse parent just because I don't really care what other people think for the most part. And I am more inclined to stuff them in front of a TV or kind of be like, yo, it's like adult time now. Why don't you guys go do this, go do that? Whereas typically if it's just us, I'm probably a little more present, trying to like play with them all the time. Or if we have friends over, I'm not really going to play with the kids at all. Mm-hmm. I'm going to expect them to play with each other or play with some of the other kids. Mm-hmm. How about you?
Yeah, I'm better. There's other people around for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's pure vanity because I want to be like, look at how good we are together. It's shitty. Yeah. It's ugly. My daughter does this thing now where if there's other people around, she just starts talking louder to me and then like kind of checking to see if they're watching. And I'm like, she probably gets that from me. Fuck. But yeah, and then the other reason that I'm better if other people are around is sometimes if you're just with your kids, you start to feel like am I taking fucking crazy pills? You know, because they'll like gaslight you and they're so like deeply irrational.
Yeah.
And if there's somebody else around, I can just be like, is he this? You get this, right?
Yeah.
And it kind of like lets me see it as funny instead of insane.
Oh yeah. And I just mean like my baseline is probably better when I'm alone with them, but my worst times would obviously happen in private.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I would never like yell at the kids in front of other people.
Yeah.
But to that point, like the thing that I find so annoying is when people are around their kids and their kids like act out. It's just like, who cares? Like, just like sweep it under the rug, throw them some candy. We're together now, adults. This is adult time. Don't teach your kids something in front of me. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting.
As opposed to like when they go, we don't do that. It's like almost like a caricaturized version of like, look how we have boundaries in this house. You say sorry to Mr. Max, and I'm like, no, it's fine. Like the kid, say thank you, and it's like
then it feels like performative. Yeah.
Yeah, performative. Like, well, I'll also do that. Be like, what do you say to Matt? Can you say thank you?
Sure.
If they don't say it, I'm like, yeah, whatever. Sorry, Matt. Whatever. Like, who cares?
Yeah,
it's not the time to like to teach your kids something or to show other parents like, look how
good we are.
Yeah.
I will, if my daughter does something out of line in front of other people, I will talk to her about it because I just don't want like her acting like an asshole when other people are around.
Yeah, for sure.
But there's one time where like she did something, I can't remember if it was around grandparents or whatever else, and I kind of just like in the moment, and I didn't even think I did a bad job of it. I was just like, hey, that's not cool or whatever. And she got really upset. And afterwards, she was like, you did it in front of everybody. Mm-hmm. And so from then on, I was like, oh, I need to not embarrass her. But if she's really out of line, I'll like be like, come here, let's talk about this for a second.
100%. It's not for the other parents
right,
or social
that's
perception.
obnoxious.
It's about you and your child.
Yeah.
Hey, let's go have a quick chat, Matt. Bud, I want to chat. Let's chat about something. And then you say, hey, listen, that can't be happening, man.
Yeah.
Like blah blah blah, as opposed to like, we don't say that in our home. I can't believe he's doing this.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, then
it's
it's the performance. Yeah,
it's so transparent. I mean, you can see it.
Yeah. All right, cool. I think in conclusion, parenting's weird. It's just weird being a parent. So you got poop on your hands. You're eating your kids' spit out food, and every once in a while, you don't have enough time for a shower and a shit.
So you waffle stomp it.